In the 1980s, 9 members from Kentucky formed together and created one of the most unique groups of all time. It was called Midnight Star. Before they were famous, the 9 members spent all their time together under one roof, creating what we know them by today, Midnight Star. Back then, they didn't know that they would be an iconic group of superstars. But little did they know, with all the success that their future would bring, the 9 members of the Midnight Star would eventually fall apart and come to an end.
Make sure you check out more stories just like this, and also movies and clips. I'm trying to bring the love back to the neighborhood. That's all I'm trying to do. All feel good stuff, feel good content right here. Your boy Antoine.
The Midnight Star history began at a historic black college named Kentucky State University in Frankfort, Kentucky. Reggie Calloway grew up in Cincinnati, Ohio. He was really into music during his high school years. He joined a local R&B group that mainly played covers from other artists. But he then grew tired of only playing covers. He wanted to learn more about music, so he left the group and went to college. When he finally arrived in 1973, he found his love and his passion for music after joining the university's marching band. Reggie Calloway grew up in Cincinnati, Ohio, and by high school, he became a very good musician. He got down with a local R&B group from around the way and started touring with them. But it started getting boring to him playing covers from other artists. He then moved on and went to KSU in 1973. And this is where the relationship within the group members started to gather together. It was there that Bill invited Reggie to join the campus jazz band. It was called Funkified. Reggie also invited Bill to join his jazz band called Sunchild, which was also on campus. After a while, they started meeting and bringing in new members into their jazz bands, until they end up setting themselves onto a bigger idea, and that was starting a whole band together. Playing the bass guitar, Kenneth Gant. Playing the horns and guitar was Jeff Cooper. And then comes Melvin Gentry, Bo Watson on the keys, and singer Belinda Lipscomb. They all called themselves Midnight Star, and then began doing shows locally. They did add one more member, Reggie Calloway's younger brother, Vincent. They opened up for some of the greats like Natalie Cole. Leaving Kentucky State behind, the entire band moved into a house together, which was owned by the Calloway's mother, Gloria Lawson. And as the band members got more serious in what they do, they started doing shows and touring. Gloria Lawson ended up tagging along and acted as a road manager. The group Midnight Star started to get a name for themselves, performing live. It got to the point that they caught the attention of the label executive Dick Griffey at Solar Records. He ended up signing them to a record deal. In 1980, the group dropped their debut album. It was called The Beginning. It didn't do that well, but the next album, Stand Together, made its way to the charts, and that song was called Tough. Midnight Stars was on their way and picking up a few fans during the journey. With the promising success of Midnight Stars' 1981 album, Tough, the group members now had total confidence that they were going to make it to the top and be on the same level as other groups like the Isley Brothers. But of course, the dream and the thoughts didn't go as planned. Midnight Stars' third album, produced by Reggie Calloway, didn't make it past 50 on the music charts. And because of that, the band's mindset changed to the worse. With the band's music career being at a stall, Reggie Calloway turned to advice and ended up having a sit down with the music legend, Quincy Jones.
Quincy said, Reggie, there's no democracy in music. There's only a few ways a song can go. There's really only one way it's going to end, and the producer's job is to get it to that point.
With the advice of Quincy Jones, Reggie Calloway was able to change his mindset to get the group back into the eyes and ears of the fans. Midnight Stars got back in the studio to work on the album to relaunch their career. They end up adding another member, a ninth member, and his name was Bobby Lovelace. He would play his role as the drummer. He would arrive at the house with the other group members and instantly catch on and start creating the work of the Midnight Star. The band would together create new songs and also come up with a whole different sound that would push them back into the streets of their fans. So in 1983, Midnight Star jumped off with a hit called Freak-A-Zoid. This single was built for the streets and for the dance floor. The single Freak-A-Zoid landed at number 2 on the R&B dance charts. And not only that, the group members gained new fans and also a new sound. After the success of Freak-A-Zoid, Midnight Stars followed up with another hit single called No Parking on the dance floor. And that song took the group to a new level. After the failed attempt of the last 3 albums, No Parking and Freak-A-Zoid proved Midnight Stars' new sound was the road to success. One of the tracks from the No Parking album was first written for the Whispers. But then, once Reggie Calloway passed it in to the record label, they said, wait a minute, we think this hit will be perfect for your group. Taking the advice of the record label, Midnight Stars ended up with another hit single, and that single was called Wet My Whistle off the No Parking album.
Wet my whistle.
And they told Midnight Star, sorry, we don't think that the Whisper should do this. They have enough hits, so you're gonna do it. And we were extremely disappointed. That's the nicest way I could put it.
Wet My Whistle ended up landing at number 8 on the R&B music charts. Midnight Star brought more to the table than just the music that gave you the groove. They also brought you the slow jams. Slow Jam was written by Babyface. With all the smash and hit singles that Midnight Star produced, it took them onto the road to perform all their smash and hits across the country. The record, No Parking on the Dance Floor, peaked at number 2 on the album charts, and it went double platinum as well. And because of that, the band got together to follow up with another dope album produced by Reggie Calloway. It was Midnight Star's 5th album called Planetary Invasion, written by Bo Watson, Belinda, and Reggie Calloway. Smashed the streets and the radio waves with a new hit single called Operator. This is an emergency. Operator became the biggest hit of Midnight Star career, rising itself and landing at number 1 on the dance charts. Midnight Star was on a roll, selling millions. They were ahead of their time, putting themselves in a position that no other group could take. Everything seemed to be going great for Midnight Star until it wasn't. At the height of their success, things start to change. Money start to come in, and the group members started to fall apart.
Now there's money being generated. There's people maybe starting to branch off and do their own things.
Being an artist is essentially an individualistic endeavor. You know, there are very few people who grow up as a youngster and said, I can't wait till I get to be one of 9 people.
Everybody wants their day in the sun, and with the creative issues, it just wasn't happening like all of us wanted it to.
See, because the group Midnight Star was focusing on rising to the top, no one was thinking about being the star. But once the group Midnight Star became the stars in the eyes of the fans, everybody wanted their time and their shine in the spotlight. And to add on top of that, people wanted to be able to move into their own place instead of living in a small house together.
As people are moving out, wanting to, buy homes, get married, we wanted to, like say we got this big royalty check, let's, pay our expenses off the top and let's split that. Let's put that in our pocket.
Now that seemed quite reasonable within the group, but because Reggie Calloway's mom and brother was now managing and holding accountable for all the revenue that was coming into the group, there was a lot of conflicts on deciding what to do with the income that was coming in from the shows and royalty checks for Midnight Star.
If you got questions about things, Reggie's the band leader. We've got to bring those things to Reggie, about his mother and his brother.
My brother changed his career path to come in and assist with the management and the accounting for the group and all the books and all these things. So we had given above and beyond the call of duty.
Clearly there was a conflict of interest. When that happens, it's kind of hard to take certain things to management, especially if it's the guy's parents,
Because of the conflicts and distrust, one of the band members decided to go look at the books of Reggie Calloway's moms while she was away. And that incident pissed off the Callaways.
It was very hard after you put that much. It's like raising your children, you put a lot into them and then they go out and do something crazy, as I would say.
We were just wanting to be in control with Midnight Star, and it was just too much. And so we were going back and forth, and it was just tension everywhere.
Out of the 9 members, the majority ultimately voted to replace Reggie Calloway's mom as the manager. They ended up putting a new team in her place. But despite the setback within the group, Midnight Star got back together to work on their next album. It was called Headlines, and scored their 3rd gold record thanks to a new single called Midas Touch, which was on the album, written by Reggie Calloway and Bo Watson. For the past few years, everything that they touched seemed to turn to gold. But that wouldn't last for long. Maybe for a solo artist, the amount of money Midnight Stars was making would have been great. But as a 9-band group, divvied up, separated, and shared, it just didn't work out. Remember, the flame had already started when the group members agreed and voted Reggie Calloway's mom out of the group as management.
Am I going to just sit back and be in a group where I don't feel that I'm being trusted or that I can trust them or that I can flourish and do what God has birthed me to do?
Probably the simplest thing I could say is there's a time for things to begin and then there's a time for things to start to transition.
So due to all the conflict within the group, after the 6th album, Headlines, Reggie and Vincent Calloway decided to leave the group. The brothers ended up leaving the group, but made a name for themselves within the music industry, working with stars like Teddy Pendergraft, Levert, Gladys Knight, and many, many others. After making some great money, some great income from producing and writing some of these star groups, Reggie and Vincent decided to start their own group called The Calloway. They cooked up a new album called All the Way, which birthed them a new hit called I Wanna Be Rich. I Wanna Be Rich landing at number 2 on the Billboard Pop Dance Charts, put the 2 brothers back on the map and back on the road again. And while the brothers were out there doing their thing, the other 7 members of the group Midnight Star started to do their own thing. Back in the booth, Midnight Star, the 7 members that was left after the Callaways left the group, decided to put together a new album called Midnight Star, produced by Bill Simmons, which actually gave them a new hit single called Don't Rock the Boat. And that single climbed to number 3 on the dance charts. A couple of years later, Midnight Star launches their new album. The album was called Work It Out, but failed to land at a good position on the music charts. And because of the stress of trying to reach success, the band members of Midnight Star decided to take a rest.
We knew someday that we were going to get back together. We still had a lot left.
Once again, I just want to thank you for watching our content. Deuces.
I was only playing. Now look where love is laid. I just had to wet my whistle. When I kissed your lips, girl, I was scared enough. I had to wet my